Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, friends. Thanks for the great thanks that given to our group. We are from group 12. We want to present our material about reading. The first definition of reading. There are three definitions of reading. The first, reading is defined as a cognitive process that involves decoding symbols to arrive at meaning. Reading is an active process of constructing meanings of words. The second, Delmans explained that reading is an activity or cognitive process that seeks to find various information contained in writing. This means that reading is a thought process to understand the context of the text read. And the third, reading is a process undertaken to reduce uncertainty about meaning a text conveys, and the process results from a negotiation of meaning between the text and its reader. And the second, types of reading. The first, intensive reading. Intensive reading is defined as the process of reading with a clear short term called in short and intense burst of either. The intensive reading meanings becomes more obvious when comparing it to extensive reading. But for now, let's have a closer look at the process of reading intensively. Reading material in many course books is often accompanied by exercise types such as true or false questions, and questions which ask what, how, often, when, etc. However, comprehension questions can be used to focus on teaching reading rather than testing it. The first way to do this is to get students to read the questions before they read the text and speculate on what the correct answer might be. This will help activate their scan and give them an idea of how to read and what to look for. When the students have read the text, it is a good idea to have them go through the questions in pairs of group and refer to the parts of group and refer to the parts of the text which help them to decide. This will ensure their engagement with the text. Part of intensive reading. The first, the vocabulary questions. Accommodation between students' desire to develop reading skills and strategies and their nature yours to understand the meaning of every single word. Pre-teaching some of in the vocabulary can help, but there are potential problems with our concentration on pre-taught words. It is important to give students an opportunity to discover the meaning of vocabulary they have found difficult, but this process could take up a considerable amount of time. Time limit, word or phrase limit, and meaning concepts used to get students to work together to search for and find words meanings. This process allows students to tell each other about some of the words they don't know and encourage them to invest in the meaning search.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, my friends. My name is Basilia Merusari. Now I will present about our material about teaching reading, especially analytical reading. First, I will explain about text meaning. Language learners read to improve their lexical and grammatical knowledge, which can be achieved through repeated extensive reading. However, it can also to be used to mine text for new language or language use, such as past tense, verb, lexical cohesion, paragraph, and punctuation. Text meaning usually takes place after the students have read for comprehension or have given some other kind of response to a text. Students at almost any level can gain benefit from collecting, analyzing, discussing, and sort the text fine. Next, reading aloud is an important part of teaching as it helps students understand the links between sound and written forms. And the next is extensive reading. Extensive reading is encouraged not for language study, but for practicing reading. Having a pleasurable experience and gradually acquiring language. It is believed that more students read, the better they get at vocabulary recognition, spelling, writing, and pronunciation. Extensive reading is encouraged not for language study, but for practicing reading, having pleasurable experience, and gradually acquiring language. Pleasurable reading is the kind of comprehensible. And then next, there are two types of extensive reading, like extensive reading materials and extensive reading tasks. First, extensive reading materials, where students can read whatever they want to read for extensive reading, of course, just like anyone else. Second, extensive reading tasks, despite our wish that our students should be enjoy reading and be motivated to do a lot of the basic topic. And the next is strategies for teaching reading. First, assess students' abilities. And the second is choral reading or partner reading. And the third is use visual aids. The fourth is assign to reading buddies across ages and grades. And the next is implement audiobooks. And the next teach academic English. Have students summarize what they read. Expose students to different discourse patterns. Let students choose the books. And the last is have students read the same content multiple times. That's all. Thank you. And the next material will present by my friend Apri.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, my friend. Thanks for the time that given to me. Now I would like to explain our material about teaching reading. And before I would like to explain our material, let me introduce myself. My full name is Apri Barus. Please call me Apri. I'm from group 12. And in this time, I would like to explain three subjects in our material about teaching reading. First, the approaches for teaching reading. First, phonics approaches. This approach to improve students' proficiency in carrying out the reading process in solving written symbols in form of sounds. Second, the whole world approach. Third, approach to teaching reading as a whole word is widely used in teaching reading at this time. Fourth, the emphasis is not only on the sounds of the letters, on the overall sounds of the words contained in some reading material. Fifth, read in entirety. The teacher will provide a chart or impact containing complete words, and the picture are included to serve as clues to help students pronounce the word. The last, holistic approach. Principle of the approach is that students are not only taught to master reading proficiency, to enjoy reading material. The second, I would like to explain current issue or problem. In the current issue or problem, there are four problems. First, students have not interest in reading. As we know, this is influenced by feeling of laziness and no will from within the students. The students' reading technique is not correct. The students' reading concentration is low. Teachers are less furnished in using the reading comprehension on method. Fourth, reading skill development facilities are lacking. In the last, I would like to explain about how to overcome the problem of reading. In this subject, there are three problems of reading. First, prepare or provide the right range of books. The second, there is motivation from the teachers. And the last, provide all the necessary facilities. Okay, sirs, my friends, I think that's all explained about our material today. And I say thank you for your attention to us.